Hello, I'm BLM archaeologist Kirk Halford with the Bishop Field office over here in Bishop, California. And we're at the Fish Slough petroglyph site, California Mono 7. This was one of the earliest recorded petroglyph sites in the western U.S., recorded back in 1882. So if we want to walk around, this site dates back to about 5,000 years ago. It's an expansive site that has petroglyphs. There's evidence of habitation here. Up on the bluff we have rock rings, and there's milling. And this is located in the Fish Slough ACEC. The Fish Slough area is a rare desert oasis with natural springs. What the symbolism means to them, and one of the things that he's found is what we would think of as fairly simplistic renditions of art are really very complex symbols that have a lot of meaning in how conveying the people's worldview and how they perceive the world around them. And so a lot of these talk about their stories of events that occurred in the past, talking about game trails, where the game might be, where the water is, where villages are, who might have lived here at a certain time. Unfortunately, we can't interpret exactly what they mean. But one thing that we do know is it's rock symbolism, it's sign language. It's definitely got meaning to it, and it tells a story. And one of the things we can do as anthropologists is look at living cultures and how they interpret rock art or rock symbolism in their region. Interpret this in a lot of ways. This could be a territorial display of villages. It could be a celestial, these are moon sequences or sun sequences. It could be telling people about where water is located. You see here you got a three-toed anthropomorphic foot, or zoomorphic. It's probably related to some kind of bird. Under here we've got grinding areas where they were grinding. You can see the mortar holes under here, and there's also metates. And those are areas that people would grind. Obviously this is a great spot because it's sheltered from the sun. So it would be a very nice place for people to spend the morning or the afternoon grinding seeds. Looking at is all volcanic tuff that erupted out of the Long Valley caldera roughly 750,000 years ago. And the volcanic tableland where we're at is formed. It's about a 300 to 500 foot thick layer of various ash flows, deposits that exploded out of the Long Valley caldera. And it was active for about 100,000 years. The main event occurred 750,000 years ago, and that ash traveled all the way to Nebraska. You find evidence of it out there. So that's what we're looking at. This is a superheated ash that is called Nuée Ardente. It comes out almost in like an avalanche and is very hot. It is distributed through the air, and then as it begins to deposit, it congeals into a rock because it's so hot. And that's what the tuff is created from. This is a location we call the kitchen rock. And you see all those holes there. Those are mortar holes. And then you can also see the dish-shaped concave metates. And what you have represented there are two types of seed processing. And the mortar holes are generally viewed as being utilized for things like pinion nuts and acorn. Pinion, they would have had to travel over to the White Mountains right across the valley from us here and transport those back here. Acorn, they would have had to trade for. We do have some acorn that comes over the Sierra in some of the canyons, the eastern canyons. But if you wanted to have acorn in abundance, you would trade. And that's one of the things that we have in this region that other regions don't have is an abundance of obsidian sources. And so obsidian was a major trade item that folks on this side of the mountain would trade to the people on the coast in the Central Valley. One of the fun things when we have kids out here, I ask them, how many people do you think could live in this facility? And you think you could get your whole family in there? And most of them are from families of 3 to 5 people. Well, that's about what would live in a house like this, would be 3 to 6 folks. And these are seasonal around here. The folks that lived here are what we call hunter-gatherers. And so they're fairly mobile people. They move in a seasonal round. And so this campsite would have not been used this time of year in the summer, but most likely in the winter and spring. You've got the rock rings surrounding it, but you can see that there's milling all over this rock. And so what they would do here, the reason for the ring is to put in brush or some kind of a barrier so that on a windy day, when they're winnowing the seed, it's not getting blown off into the dirt.